Next up is Dan Linna. Dan is a visiting professor of law at Northwestern University Pritzker School of Law. He's also affiliated faculty at Codex, the Stanford Center for Legal Informatics, and he's a co-founder of IFLP. Welcome, Dan.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, everyone, for being here and for supporting the Institute for the Future of Law Practice. One of the things that we teach in our program is to be customer-oriented, and you're our customers, of course, here tonight. And what that means in this program is less Dan Linna and more Steve Harmon on stage. So I've got 5 minutes here that I'm going to spend to just give a very brief history of IFLP and talk a little bit about our curriculum. And IFLP really starts with the Tech Lawyer Accelerator program at the University of Colorado. Bill Moose, one of our co-founders of IFLP, started that in the summer of 2014. Very similar to the kind of program that we're running now, 3-week foundational track of training, 2 weeks advanced track of training, followed by internships in large technology companies, like places like Cisco. 10-week internships, 7-month internships. And then a couple years later, Bill Henderson brought a few of his Indiana students out to the Tech Lawyer Accelerator at Colorado. And those students had a great experience, learned a lot in the boot camp, did great in the internships, and at this time, Bill are having this discussion about, we need to scale this. We need to be able to bring this to more law schools. We need to be able to bring this to more employers. And then it was less than a year ago at Northwestern here in Chicago during a meeting on the Forum on Legal Evolution that Bill Henderson and Bill Moose launched their idea for what became the Institute for the Future of Law Practice. And I have this quote here from this article that was in Above the Law from Richard Susskind. And it really kind of focuses on what the problem is that we're solving, right? This idea that law schools are training lawyers for law students for these 20th century careers when what we need are 21st century skills. We need law students with 21st century skills. And we have quite a few law students. How many law students we have in the crowd tonight? Quite a few, I know, of Northwestern students are here, right? And like Lisa said earlier, too, I encourage you to tweet and talk about this, right? The fact that you're here and you're able to learn from people like Sam and Susan and John and Steve, I mean, that's a really great opportunity for you. And so what we're trying to do with IFLP is give law students the opportunity to develop these skills, to be part of flexible, team-based, technologically sophisticated, commercially astute, hybrid professionals that the market demands, right? Corporate legal departments and now more and more large law firms are looking for law grads who have these skills. So it was a sprint really from November to May this last year to launch the IFLP, and so Bill Moose, Bill Henderson, and I launched it as co-founders. We're very fortunate that Lisa Colpoys was able to join us shortly thereafter. We had a great board that helped us pull together the curriculum. I led the curriculum here in Chicago at Northwestern, but that was easy in large part because we are duplicating what had been done at Colorado in the Tech Lawyer Accelerator. So I worked very closely with Amy Bauer there. We made a few updates, and we had a group of legal professionals who helped us deliver this programming, many of whom are in the audience today. So 40 students that went out into internships. And so if I'd have known Susan was going to talk about the T-shaped lawyer, I may not have had quite as many slides about it. But I think it's a very important point, and it really nicely captures what we're talking about. And so if you law students think about what we're talking about here, of course it's important that you still have deep legal expertise. That's the kind of vertical trunk of the T. You've got to have that. But we're talking about adding some other skills to that, right? The business of law. And I like using the term legal operations, not just in corporate legal departments, but in law firms, and also thinking about courts and legal aid organizations. You're in the business of delivering legal services, legal operations, process improvement, knowledge management, project management, metrics, data analytics, and technology. And one of the other really important things that we're doing with IFLP then is looking at these disciplines and doing the work to build the body of knowledge, right? We want to advance beyond simply putting on the boot camps and having these great professionals deliver the training. We want to try to capture that knowledge and start building a body of knowledge that can help us move the whole profession forward. So a foundational track built around these modules and an advanced track that Bill Moose has put together. I often have students and law professors especially ask me questions about, oh, well, so you're training law students for alternative careers, right? And it's like, no, we're training lawyers to be better lawyers. And I think part of the problem is this dichotomy, the way we looked at legal careers, the kind of traditional lawyers and alternative careers. I think we need to kind of think about a different framework, this idea of we still have traditional lawyers, of course, but we also now have non-traditional career paths and still, of course, use alternative career paths. And when I talk about traditional paths, right, it's the idea of becoming an operationally aware attorney, understanding how to use people, process, data, technology to deliver legal services, not just more efficiently, higher quality, and getting better outcomes for clients. And so when you're in a big fancy law firm and you're talking to people like Steve at Cisco or Connie Branton at NetApp or Mario Carroll at Google, you better believe you need to have an understanding of how your firm can use project management, data analytics, and technology to deliver better, faster, cheaper legal services with an emphasis on better, right? That's where we as lawyers, I think, can really be thinking about how we can improve what it is we deliver to our customers.